Yeah, fine. So yesterday we have we learned like how to save the data sources as well, right? So say now fresh copy I open, fresh application I open, Tableau application. So now I am going to click on this. So once I will click on this, automatically I am going to get the data source. Okay, that is the benefit of save data sources. Data source extension is dot TDS TDSX. Tableau data source, Tableau package data source. Fine. So today we are going to learn the graphs. Okay, what are the different graphs we are having in Tableau and in which scenario we are going to use them. Okay. So actually by default Tableau, we will get 24 visualizations. So now you can see the graphs will be available under in Show Me. So once you will click on this Show Me button, right? So you can see these are the different visualizations. Okay. These are the different visualizations, okay, which will serve in different purpose. Okay, simply first thing, if you want to create one cross tab known as a table, guys. Cross tab means it is not entirely different thing. Cross tab means it's a table format, table graph. Okay, now for example, if you want to create any visualization, so first thing, you can create two ways, guys. You can create two ways. One thing is either you can drag and drop the fields. Yeah, you can drag the fields into column shelf, row shelf, and whatever the shelves we discussed, right? Columns, rows, filters, and marks card. By dragging the fields into these shelves, right? So you can create a visualization. And one more thing is, for example, I am going to select the market segment and, for example, account balance. Now you can say once I will, by holding the control key, I have selected the two fields. One is a dimension and another one is a measure. I have selected two fields. See, once I select the fields, now you can see in Show Me, you can see different graphs is highlighted because whatever the fields I have selected here, by using these fields, we can able to create these visualizations. Okay. So whatever you want to create, you can directly click on the visualization. But here, as I said, right, so yesterday, Tableau recommended graph is bar graph. So up to you whether you are going to use this graph or not. So now as right, so we are going to create this one. Okay, just I am clicking on this cross tab. Now you can see once I will click on it. Okay, so it is asking database password because it is a live connection, right? So just now I clicked this one, right? So now you can see automatically cross tab has been created. So if you want to like bar chart, like tree map, so based on your requirement, you are going to select. And when we are going to create what type of graphs. Okay. Now guys, so here actually in real time, in general cases, when you are collecting the requirements, right? So sometimes customer used to tell you, I want to see the data in this format. Okay. Most of the times customer will suggest the visualizations. If customers is not suggested, you are not received any suggestion from the customer like a graph type, then what you have to do is you have to know like in which graph we can represent this visualization, means in which graph we can show this data. Okay, whatever you are showing in the visual format, that should be understandable format, okay, for the customer. He should not get any confusion in, right? So for example, you can create 2 or 3 graphs case. Okay, you can, with the same data, you can visualize in different ways and you can go to customer. Okay, I am showing this data in 3 different formats. So which one you will suggest? You can ask the suggestion from customer. That is not an issue. You can ask. Okay. Now, first thing, right? So cross tab, anyhow, see here, the cross tab, for creating the cross tab, one or more dimensions and one or more measures is required. Okay. So first thing, you can directly drag the field. Okay. Now you can see here, it is showing like automobiles. It is a pie chart I have selected under marks card also, guys. So it is selected pie. Okay. Now I am going to click on text. See, now it is text table. And after that, directly you can drag. For example, once you will drag the dimension, and after that, whenever you are dragging the measure, what is going to happen? Measure is going to generate a continuous axis, correct? Measures will always continuous and it is going to generate a axis. Now, for example, if I will drag the measure into column shelf, now you can see automatically account balance, right? Okay, here text table I have selected, but where is the data? 1 second, guys. So something. Yeah. Okay, here I have selected text actually. So because of that reason, it didn't come. So by default, here, let me drag. So why? Yeah, it has generated the scale, but where is the value? Yeah, here it is showing. Now you can see ABC, it is showing. Okay, okay, fine. So here actually, guys, so one more thing you have to remember, whenever you will create any cross tab kind of thing, okay, text tables automatically the one more there is a one column which will display automatically the ABC placeholder. ABC placeholder. Actually, whenever you are going to create this text kind of table, right? So you have to keep the measures in the text, whatever you want to display here. Okay. In general, for example, if you have not selected anything, okay, if you have not selected anything, the default graph type is bar graph. The default visualization type is bar graph. Now, for example, market segment, I am dragging again. And now whenever I will drag any measure, right, so automatically it is going to convert into a bar graph. The default visualization in Tableau is a bar graph. Okay. And also the default aggregation in Tableau is sum. Now you can see the aggregation. The aggregation, right? So whatever the measure we are dragging, not only account balance, you can drag any customer key, nation key, whatever you can drag it here, right? So it is going to be aggregated. The default aggregation is sum. Okay, so this aggregation you can change it as per your requirement, like average or minimum, maximum, whatever you want, we can change it. Okay, now here the graphs, right? So which graph you have to select? Okay, see, for example, if the customer want to see the detailed information, then you have to go with the cross tab. Detailed information means the granularity. Okay, the visualization should be lower granular. So lower granularity means, for example, each and every record. So have you guys heard about the granularity earlier? Now, is this visualization, whatever we are displaying, is it in which granular level it is? Like, is it high granularity or low granularity? Okay, so actually this is in high granularity. So low granularity means, for example, let me open the Excel file. So okay, for example, this is the data I am having, guys. So this is the orders data. So let me connect again orders data source. Because, right, so if I will drag anything from this database, right, so it is going to take a lot of time. So to avoid that one, let me refresh from server side itself. Let me create an extract. Okay, guys. So, okay, fine. So I will explain that concept later. So let me connect to the Microsoft Excel. Guys, here in a single workbook, you can create as many as data sources as per your requirement. Okay. See, now in my data source, in my workbook, I am having two data sources. One data source is a Snowflake database. I connected to Snowflake database. The data source name is customer. And I have created another data source that is connected to Excel file. The data source name is orders. You can connect the data sources. But here you have to observe one thing. Now you can see for orders data source, you cannot see any blue tick mark, but customers, you can see the blue tick mark. What it means is like the sheet, whatever the sheet one, whatever the visualizations we have created here, the fields, whatever we are using to create this visualization, these two fields are coming from the customer data source. If I will go to another sheet, okay, I'm going to create a new sheet. Here you can see initially the data sources is not having any blue tick mark because here we haven't used any field. First, what from which data source, like what the field, whatever you are dragging here, if you drag first time, that is going to be a blue tick mark. For example, here that is going to be a primary data source. Okay, when we are going to learn blending concept, we are going to know like what is the mean by primary data source, what is the mean by secondary data source. But for now, see, now you have to know like whenever you are selecting this one, right? So for example, here customer name is there. Let's assume in orders also I am having customer name. Okay, but before creating any visualization, you should know, so what is the data source you have to use to create this visualization. See here, to get the fields from orders, you have to select the orders data source from here. Now you can see the fields, whatever it is displaying here, it is coming from orders data source. Okay, now see, granularity means here you can see this is a lower granularity. Lower granularity means each and individual record. Means now you can see here I am having 9,995 records total, including the column header, including the header. Okay, I am having 9,995 records. So actually this is whatever the data we are seeing, this is in lower granularity. Lower granularity means each and individual order ID and each and individual date wise. Actually here you can see order date is there. So the customer, the same customer might be ordered the products in different dates or in the same day, different timings, right? So each and individual transaction is going to be stored in your data set. So that is called as a lower granular data. Lower granularity means each and individual record is going to store each transaction, we can say. Okay, now higher granularity means, for example, now I have connected to this sample superstore, right? So this orders table. Now if I will like, now my requirement is I want to see the data like sales in product wise or like subcategory wise. We are having different subcategories. For example, I'm going to drag the subcategory here and I'm going to drag the sales here. Now you can see this is the sale amount for different subcategories. Now it is in which granularity? Now it is in higher granularity. It is subcategory. It is the aggregation. The aggregation is happened at subcategory level. Means aggregation means here the sum of sales. This amount is added at subcategory level. Now, for example, if you'll go to see the accessories in the database, now let's go to here. Now let's filter out the data. Now I am going to apply the filter here. Filter and subcategory we are using, right? So from here, I am going to select the accessories. Now, once I will click on the accessories, now you can see here. So now here we are getting all the accessories related data. Now you can see how many records we are having. We are having 776 records, 776 records. It means the data here, we are using the sales. Now you can see this sale amount we are aggregating at the subcategory level. So means we are aggregating the data at subcategory level. That's why we are telling here the data is at higher level category, higher level. Granularity is at higher level. Means here the granularity, now you can see 1,67,380. Here if you sum up everything, here you can add up. Now you can see you are getting same sum value 167380.318. Okay, so means you are not displaying the actual data here. You are aggregating the data and you are showing based on the dimension what you are dragging here. Now here we are using subcategory. That's where the aggregation is happened at the subcategory level. For example, if you do the aggregation at region level, now each region wise, what is the sales amount it is going to display. Here, the measure, whatever you are displaying here, the measure value is going to be distributed means grouped based on the dimension what you are using here. Here in this case, I am using region. So that's where the sale amount is summed up by region wise. In the earlier case, what has happened? It is summed up in the subcategory wise. So now this visualizations, right? So whenever, just remember, the granularity means high level granularity means whenever you are not showing the data in detail, whenever you are not showing the data in detail, then we are going to tell that is a high level granularity. In your report, you are showing data at in detail level, very detailed level, whatever in whichever the format you are having in the database, the same way you are displaying the data here, then we can say it is in lower granularity. Okay. See, lower granularity, let me give an example. Now, order ID, you can see here. Now, here you can see how many records we are having. 5009. In the bottom left corner, you guys can see 5009 rows by one column. Column name is order ID, and this order ID contains 5009 records. But actually in database, how many records we are having? 9994 records, excluding header ID. Now I am going to drag the row ID. So let's see how many. Now you can see, guys, 9994 rows. So now you can see this is the actual data. This we can say lower level granularity. Now this way, right? So I am going to drag the category, and whatever you want, you can do. So the record count is going to be same because the same record count we are having in our database. Okay, this is a low level granularity and this is a high level granularity. Is it clear? Granularity means in interviews, the people might ask this. So what is the granularity mean by? Okay, granularity means in which level you are displaying the visualization data aggregation, in which level the aggregation is happening based on in which level means here, guys, the dimension whatever we are using, right? So based on the dimension what we are using, the aggregation is going to happen. For example, here the central region, you can see 501240. This is the total sales. Now what will happen if I drag the category? Now I am going to drag the category here after region into row shelf. Now you can see the data again, it's aggregated, right? So now you can see here central region. Now the data is aggregated in each region category wise. In each region, for each category, the data is aggregated. Now in central region, if we'll take this one, if we'll sum up all these things, it is going to give the same value 501240, whatever we have seen earlier. Now to show this one, let me duplicate this one. Just I am going to duplicate. Now here I am going to remove the category. Now you can see for central region, this is the amount. Now if you go to sheet 2, here you can see central, the sale amount is same, but the dimension we have used another dimension called category. Now in each region, the sale amount is sales is again grouped based on the category, region wise, each category wise. In each region, we can say in each region category wise, the sales is distributed. Is it clear? Here, guys, see, you have not written any calculation, right? Are you writing any calculations as of now? We haven't written any calculation. See, directly we are using the fields directly, automatically the Tableau is creating visualization by summing up all the values based on the dimensions what we are using here. Okay, this is the advantage of Tableau. This is the beauty of Tableau, we can say. Okay. Fine. So now, okay, so now, right, so we will see one by one visualization. Okay. Now here, guys, so mostly, right, so you guys can see like in YouTube or somewhere, the people will say like different kind of visualization. Okay. So in real time, in generally, we are going to use maps, crosstabs, pie chart, bar graphs, line charts, and bullet graph. Whatever you can see here, the graphs, right? So if from this graph only in real time, we are going to use this. From in real time, we are going to use only these graphs. And also in advanced graph types, we are going to use waterfall graph and donut chart. These are the graphs we are going to use regularly. But some people will share like different graphs, right? So those graph types is not going to support in Tableau. Means not going to support means they will support, but the data model, whatever we are using in the backend, right? The data model should be in a proper order. If you are not having proper data model, then those graph types you cannot. So generally people, right? So whatever you can see the like visualizations, right? They are going to manipulate the data backend. So as per the requirement, they are going to rearrange the data and they are going to create the visualization. Okay. So don't worry. So these are the main graph types and also donut chart, waterfall. If you learn this, we are good. Okay. Right. So anyhow, text table means text table, we will call it as a crosstab. So these crosstabs, when we are going to use is if the customer want to see in detail. For example, now I am going to drag category and for example, sales. Now customer want to see the data, like whenever he will click on this, whenever he will select on this furniture, then automatically he want to see the in detail information. In detail information means how these 7,42,000 came, like from which subcategories and from which products he got this value. So if he want to see the detailed information, then we are going to create a crosstabs. And also some people would like to see the information in a crosstab. So in that case also we are going to use this crosstab. To create a crosstab, just you are going to place the values in either row shelf or column shelf. Okay. And the another graph type is heat maps. So to create a heat map, you can see one or more dimensions, one or two measures. Actually, the heat maps is going to work in two-dimensional way. Okay, two-dimensional way. So now, if you can click on this, for example, already I have sum of sales and category. Now you can see, if I will click on it, now you can see what has happened here. So here, it is displaying the data automatically. Now you can see it is showing automatic, and you can see this is a square boxes. Now you can see the size of square boxes, right? If you'll observe the size of square boxes, wherever you can see the sale amount is more. Now, by looking at this visualization, I can say the technology is having more sales compared to furniture and office. The next category is furniture, and the last category is office supplies. So if you want, you can see the data as well. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the sales. Now you can see, guys, once you will convert the heat map, let's observe the category is in row shelf, and automatically the sum of sales is moved into the size property. Under marks card, we are having size property, right? Automatically sum of sales is moved to size property. Because of this, you can see it showing the different sizes based on the sum of sales value. Now, for example, if you want to see the labels, now what I am going to do is I am going to drag the sum of sales into labels. Now you can see this is the labels. Now you can see here, technology is having 8,36,000 and furniture is having 7,42,000 and office supplies is 7,19,000. Because of these values, you can see the small change in the square boxes. Okay, and you guys might get like, you guys will think like, here we are seeing the different colors. Why it is not showing different colors here? All right. So let me remove this one. So this is the actual graph. Now, for example, I want to distribute this furniture. This is the total sales, right? So now I want to distribute in each year what is the sales amount. Now I want to show the year wise. Now order date. Okay. Now I am going to drag this order date into column shelf. Now you can see this category furniture, how furniture sales were there in different years. Now in 2017, like 1,57,000 is the sale amount. I am seeing in the tooltip, guys, the text box, right? Whatever you can see the text box, that we will call it as a tooltip in Tableau terminology, tooltip. And in 2018, 1,70,000, and in 2018, 1,98,000 and 2,15,000. Now here also you can see how the data is distributed. Now, for example, let me increase the size. You can see here, I can see by looking at this graph, I can see the technology in 2020, we are having more sales compared to other categories in other years. After that, I can see this is the one like 2,71,000, 2,46,000 and 2,26,000 and again this way. So, but guys, here, this is a bit complicated. See, whatever you are displaying the visualization, right? It should be catchy and by easily the customer should notice the change, right? So here, the customer, some customers, right? So actually in this case, right? So yeah, by looking at the size, we can, but if the customer has to keep more concentration on this visualization, right? Because the size he is going to check the size, right? So to avoid this kind of things, right? So we are going to use color property. Color property we are going to use. Okay, so now let me do one thing. So what I am going to do is I am going to drag the sales into color. Now you can say, guys, I am dragging measure into color, not the dimension. I am going to drag measure. This is the measure, sum of sales is a measure. I am going to drag into color. Now you can say, once I will keep the sum of sales into color property, now you can say what is going to happen. Now you can say, wherever you can say maximum sales, the color for that mark, this we will call it as a mark in Tableau terminology, M-A-R-K, mark. Okay. You can see the mark color is going to be very thick. And wherever you can see the less sales, it is going to be lighter. Now you can see the scale here. This is the legend, automatically it is going to create. This we will call it as a color legend. Sum of sales here. Now you can see the minimum sales is 1,37,000 and maximum sales is 2,17,000. So here you can see this is the light color 1,37,000 and this is the color 2,71,000. Now this one you can change it. So how you are going to change this color, right? So here we are showing in a blue color. Now I want to show in different color. So what I am going to do is you can click on this legend. Now you can see sum of sales. Here there is a one drop down right side of this legend, color legend. You can see one drop down. So you can click on this drop down and edit colors. This is a one thing. And another thing is you can click on this color and you can edit colors. Okay. See, I have selected the Mox card and edit colors. I clicked on it. And or you can go to this drop down and edit colors. The same window is going to open. Now after this, you can see the color palette is automatic. Automatic, it is going to display in blue color. Now you can see, for example, if you want to select different color palettes, means red or green, blue drive, whatever it may be. So based on your requirement, you can choose the color palette. Now, for example, I want to show like green color. I want to take green or something. So if I will take this one, now you can say, I'm going to click apply. So now you can say the data is changed. Now you can see here, wherever you can see, this is a thick, like orange color means it is a less sales. Green color means like thick green means like it is going to be like more sales. So it depends on your requirement. You are going to select the color palette. So for example, red to green also you can apply. Now you can see this is less sales and this is maximum sales, and in between like yellowish. So this is like in between sales. The dark red means it is a like less sales, we can say. But these colors, right? So we are going to use like negative profits kind of thing. We are going to use red color, right? Wherever you are going to have negative values, then we are going to show in a red color. Okay. So this is the way you are going to select. And also here, you can see we are having different options. So stepped color. Now here, you can see the color is like continuously moving, means dark to like dark red to light red, then in between yellowish, then light green to dark green. It is moving because here, right? So it is a continuous one. The value measure, whatever I am showing, it is a continuous. 1 second, please. Here we are having stepped color, right? So I'm going to select the stepped color, means what is going to happen is it is going to display 5 different colors. It is not going to flow from the color range from dark to lighter. It's not going to flow. It is going to be fixed. For example, if I will click on stepped color, now you can see these are the 5 different colors it is going to appear. Now let's click on apply. Now you can see it is not showing lighter or something. Just green means you can say like dark greens means like you can say it is a more sales. Yellowish means it is a in between. Orange means like okay, and like red means like it is a lower sales kind of thing. You can, and you can increase or decrease these stepped colors. Like for example, I want to show only 4 or 3. For example, let's apply this one. Now you can say these all are like these 4 are doing good. Okay. So this way you can increase or decrease the colors. Okay. But actually, whenever you are using measures, actually we are not going to use these colors. So we are going to use this range only. Means the customer will notice based on the darkness and lightness of the mark, whatever the color we have applied, right? By looking at this only, he will come to know. Okay. And here we are going to, like here we don't have a negative values, right? So we are going to use, we are not going to use this red and green driving. So we are going to use only one color, either it is a green or blue or whatever it may be. Now, if I will select green color, now you can see here, yeah, this is what I can say. This is what I can use because everything is sales. Nothing is in negative as of now. If, for example, instead of sales, I'm going to use profit, then I can. Now, I am going to remove this one. Now, I am going to drag the profit into size. First thing, now you can see. And after that, I am going to drag profit again into colors. Now, here also, it is started from 3000, right? So I want to get negative value. So what I am going to do is I am going to drag the subcategory also into my visualization. Now you can see, guys, this is the visualization. Now, by looking at this visualization, customer will come to know wherever he can see this orange, right? He can come to know like these are the negative profit subcategories. Is it correct or not? Guys, are you guys able to understand, like, is it kind of clumsy for you guys? Right. So now you can see by looking at this, which under which category, which subcategory is having more sales? we can say this is having more cells because compared to all other, this is having maximum size and thick color, right? And now you can change from like here, you can change it now like red to green or something. So you can change it. So this is like here, like actually it is a two-dimensional visualization, right? So heat map is a two-dimensional visualization. And here actually we can use two measures. For example, how you are going to display with two measures. For example, I want to display sales as well as profit in the same visualization. How you are going to display? Here guys, here the people might ask question like how you are going to, is it possible to display color for two measures? Like here, is it possible to display color on, based on two measures, means sales and profit? Now already I am using profit. Now if I will use sales into colors, what is going to happen? Now I want to keep the sum of sales into color shelf. What is going to happen? Let's observe what has happened. So its profit is replaced with sales. Now here by looking at this visualization, here we are having two measures now. In this visualization, we are showing two values. The size, whatever the size you can see, the size is based on the profit. And the color thickness, the color of the marks is based on the sum of sales. Now let me do one thing. Just I am going to clear this one. I am going to select order date, the same thing, subcategory and category, and also I am going to select profit and sales. 5 columns I have selected by holding the control key. Now I am going to click on show me. So once I will click on show me, now you can say different visualizations. In that we are having heat map as well. So I am going to click on the heat map. Now let's see how it is going to represent. See guys, so here the same way, whatever we have created, the same way it is displayed. Okay, so here guys, so we can create the heat map by using two measures. Okay, and also here one is going to represent, always you have to remember this one, either mark color or mark size. Mark color is going to represent with one measure and mark size is going to represent with another measure. Here the sum of sales is representing the color of the mark and profit is representing the size of the mark. You can make vice versa. You can make it vice versa. So for example, let's go here. Sum of sales I want to show in a size and profit I want to make it as a color wise. Now you can see here, by looking at this visualization, you can say the orange color, okay, the orange size is showing the sales, okay, the profit, the orange color, whatever you can say, it is representing the negative profit. Now you can say here the sales is more and also profit, I am not getting the profit. Here you can say by looking at this small mark, you can say sales is less, but I am getting profit only. But in this case, I am investing more, but I am not getting the profit. So this is where the user is going to read this data. Is it clear? Fine. So here you have to remember in this visualization, the people may ask, is it possible to keep two colors on this heat map? Heat map, is it possible to show mark color by using two measures or the size also by using two measures? No, it is not possible. Either one measure should go into size and another measure should go into color. Okay, you have to remember that point. Is it clear guys? So this is a heat map. Guys, now you see here, I am sheet 2 is there, right? I am going to rename this sheet 2. So how we have to rename means you can double click on this and you can give whatever the name you want. Like now here I am going to give name as a heat map. Okay, heat map I have given. Now we are going to see the highlight tables. Guys, so highlight tables means the heat map and highlight tables is having similarity. Okay, why I am telling similarity is, see here we are not showing the data, just we are showing the marks. Means based on the data we are showing the size of the mark and color of the mark. In highlight tables what we are showing is we are showing the values and also we are assigning the background color for that cell. Okay, now in the Excel sheet also, guys, if you'll observe here, we are having, this is a one cell and this is another cell, right? So here we are showing some data. If you want to highlight, you can give the background color for it, right? You can give the background color. The same way in Tableau also, by using highlight tables, what we are going to show is based on the value, we are going to give some background color for your data. Okay. So here, this is highlight tables. Guys, this data, right? So heat map, highlight tables, right? So actually, right? So when we are going to use is like whenever we want to display like the data in, you want to show like difference, okay? How it is moving from year to year or something, right? So you can show like difference, okay? So actually, right? So specifically, if you are having less number of marks, right? So for example, here we are having less data, so that's where it is easy to show. But if you want to display the data in more lower granularity, then it is not going to work. Okay, whenever you are showing the visualization in a high level categories, high level granularity, then it is a best suitable graph. Okay, remember that one. And also highlight tables also same. Okay, now here what I am going to do is I am going to create a highlight tables. See, I am not going to do anything. Just what I am going to do is just select the fields, whatever you want. Like I am going to select category and also ship date and subcategory. You can select anything, guys. So I am selecting randomly and I am going to select the profit. Now I have selected these three and I am going to click on this highlight tables. Once I will click on it, now you can see this is the data it is displayed. Okay. This is the data I have. And also, guys, you can see here the graph is like if you want to make graph bigger, right? So you can either drag this way and drag this, okay, by holding this one, you can drag. Okay. Now here you can see these are the like wherever you can see, right? So here the orange is means like dark orange means it is a more negative, the same way like how we have discussed last time, right? In the last visualization heat map, the same way. Here the difference is here you are getting along with the, here we are showing the data in a table format and we are giving just background color for it. We are just giving background color for it. We are not doing anything, just we are giving background color for it. Okay, so for example, like same kind of visualization, what I am going to do is like, for example, let's go here. Let me clear this one. So category I am using and also subcategory and ship date, and here I am using profit. So here if you can see, so this is the data what I am showing here there. One second, guys. Hello. 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 See here, guys, whatever the visualization we can see in the highlight tables, whatever the data we were able to see, the same data. For example, if you can say phones 11761 and 29. Okay, just I am taking two. So 11761, 29. This is a cross tab only, but what we are doing is highlight table means. Hello. 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 I am not able to hear your voice. Hello. Hello. Yeah, now I am able to hear. Yes, tell me. Sorry, wrong number. Yeah, okay, sorry. So same data, right? So whatever you can see in the highlight tables, the same data we are saying here. But here, highlight tables means just we are highlighting based on the profit. Means how just to easily identify the profit, maximum profit. Hello. Yes, please tell me. Yes, is correct. Yeah. Yes, yes, please go ahead. Yes. Uh, actually, that is sorry. Actually, that is not a damaged piece. Okay, the digits, right? The digital, right? The scale, whatever it is displaying, that is not actual one. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. No, thank you. And nowadays, right? So only one feedback I want to give. Like nowadays, like the courier service, right? So whatever you are providing, like delivery date, and it is not coming by the date. So always it is like increasing 2 days or 3 days or 4 days. Whatever the date you are mentioning here, there, right? It is not delivering on the same time, same date. Whatever you are mentioning, always it is postponing. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the info. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Fine. I will share the feedback. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Okay. Bye. Yes. Sorry, guys. So, see, guys. Now this is the visualization, right? So now what I am going to do is just I am going to add profit into color. So when I will add profit into color, what is going to happen now? Is it going to, we are going to get the same kind of visualization, or we are going to get it differently? Here, we are going to get in a different way. Because now, for example, let me drag here. Now you can see here, here it is showing a text. now you can say under mocks card, you can see here, this is automatic. It is taking as a text. T means text table. And in the highlight tables, you can say it is taking as a square. Now, if I will drag here profit into colors, now is it going to like, are you going to get background color for each cell, or like you are going to get the color for each and every value? Here, when you are having automatic as T, then the color is going to assign for your numbers, not for the background. Now you can see here, this is the, like this way, the data, like you are going to get the colors. It is not giving the background color. It is giving color for your values, whatever the numbers you are seeing, right? So for that, it has assigned the color. Now, if you'll go and if you can select the square, then you can see the same visualization has been created. So this is the way you can create a background color if you want manually. So this is an automatic way. And if you want to create manually, this is the way you have to select the marks after creating the text table. Okay. So actually, this is also a useful graph. Okay. When we are having limited data, guys, always remember, whenever you are having huge data, like whatever the data members you are displaying, if you want to display more number of data sources, all these kind of visualizations is not suitable. The only, like whenever you want to display the data in high level, actually, right? So in real time also, we are going to display the data in high level categories only. Maximum like 400 or 500, like 200, 300 rows. Okay, sometimes it depends on that. Okay, means for example, if the customer is having more subcategories, like 100 subcategories, then we have to display all 100 categories. But in detail level, we are going to use maximum cases, we are going to use crosstabs. Okay, the text tables. Okay, so the next graph is like maps we are having. So maps means like maps I am going to explain later. Okay, let me show you now itself. So I am going to clear the sheet. So as we discussed earlier, when we discussed regarding the geographic fields, okay, so that time we discussed, right? So to create any kind of maps, we need geographic field. So now, right, so I am going to create a one map by using this geographic field. See, whenever we will have the geographic fields in our data source, automatically 2 extra fields is going to display. That is, one is out in that, one is a latitude and another one is a longitude. Okay, so this, by using this latitude and longitude only, we are going to create a maps. So what exactly latitude and longitude will have the values? Okay, generally, for example, now let me search in Google. Okay, for example, Hyderabad latitude and longitude. Now you can say, if I will search here, now it is going to give this latitude values and longitude values. Okay, so this is the way, this, by using these values only, we are going to create a maps. Okay. Means like we know, right? So Greenwich, the timings will also be different. Okay, like a Greenwich median, we can say like ఏమంటారు మనము అవి రేఖలు అంటారు చూడండి, అంటే భూమధ్య రేఖ ఇలాంటివి. So this latitude, longitude, right? So it is going to like what we can say exactly, borders we can say simply. Okay, north and east, how many degrees, like that. Okay, so now here in Tableau also, this latitude, longitude is going to give those values. See, for example, now if I will drag latitude, longitude, now I am going to drag the latitude. Okay, now you are not getting anything, and again longitude I am getting. Now you can say one null value. So null I am getting here because because here guys, so whenever you are facing these kind of issues, whenever you are going to create maps, okay, generally there might be an issue in the data. Data means not in the backend data, guys. So the states or cities, whatever we have selected. Now, for example, here automatic it is there. So I am going to create a map. Still, I am not getting anything. So now what I am going to do is just I am going to click on the map menu. You can see here there is a map menu. I am going to click on it, map menu, and here background images, geocode background images, I am going to click on it and order sample. Just you can click on it. Now you can see here. Okay, sorry. This is background images. Okay, fine. So now the issue is with, now you can see latitude, longitude is generated. Okay, but here one null value. Axis has one null value because here geographic fields, right? So here we have to use the geographic field into detail level. For example, now I am going to drag state into detail or color. For example, color. Still, it is not displaying. See, now here we are getting 49 unknown because earlier we haven't used this state. So it is showing null because we haven't passed any value. This latitude, longitude will be generated. We are not using any field here. So that's what now I am going to use either state, this guy, wherever you can see globe symbol, guys. So this globe symbol field only, we will call it as the geographic fields. You can use any one of the field, means any one of the field means you want to display map based on the states, you are going to use states. If you want to display the map based on the cities, then you can use cities. Okay, now I am going to use the state. Now you can see, guys, so Alabama, Arizona, so these are the different states. So these different states where we are coming from. Now you can see here, let's go to orders, our data set. Here we are having states. This is the state, and you can see the country is United States and different cities we are having. Now here, how many countries we are having now? If you click on it, we are having only United States data. So now what I am going to do is just click on here. Now let's click on unknown, 90, 49 unknown, right? You can directly click on it, or now you can go to maps and edit locations. Edit locations. Whenever you will drag, now if I will remove, here you are not going to get edit locations option. Whenever you will drag any geographic field into this marks card, then you are going to get edit locations. Either you can click on this icon by going maps menu and edit locations, or you can click on directly 49 unknown, whatever it is displaying on top of the view. See, once I will click on this 49 unknown, now you can see here it is displaying, it is giving 3 options for you. First option is edit locations and filter data, show data at default position. But yes, in this case, why we are going to get this kind of issues means it is not identifying automatically. The Tableau is not identified. The states, whatever the states we are having, it is not identified automatically. Okay. Then what we have to do is, first thing we have to edit the locations. Now, once you will click on the edit the locations, it is going to open another window. In that window, guys, we know by looking at the backend data, we came to know like these states are from United States. Okay. Now I am going to click on edit locations. Now let's see. Now here you can see country region, it is selected India. Correct. So all these states all are belongs to India country? No. All these states are belongs to America. So here, because of this reason here, it is selected India. So because of this reason, it is not identified the latitude, longitude values for this. So now what I am going to do is from here, India to, I am going to change here United States. Now you can see United States. Once you will click on United States, Now you guys can say matching location, Alabama. So everything is matched. Okay. Now, for example, Alabama, once you will click on Alabama, right? So here you can enter manually latitude, longitude values. But as of now, Tableau is identified the location. So you no need to enter latitude, longitude values manually. Now, if you click on it, now you can say it is asking you to enter latitude and longitude values. Okay. So as of now, it's identified. So I am not going to enter. If Tableau is not identified automatically, then you are going to get one red escalation mark here. For that state, you are going to enter manual. Okay, that is the way you can fix this issue. Okay, edit the locations by using edit the location option. You have to reset. You have to map this location, like whatever the data you are having in your data set, and matching location you are going to select. Matching location means whenever you will enter proper latitude and longitude values, then only you are going to get it is going to assign the same. Means in the map, whatever you are going to get the map, in that map, it is going to be properly. Now I am going to click on OK. Now you can see this is the map. I got it. So here, actually here you can see here in the map, right? So let's select map. I have selected the map only. Now here in show me, this is a symbol map. Actually, this is a symbol map. And also here, this x-axis, y-axis, right? So let me swap it. Yeah. Now, because longitude should be in columns and latitude should be in row shell. So because of that reason, it is not displaying properly. So just I swapped this one. So now this is the visualization. Now this is the way we can create a map. Now guys, so if you want to display like, for example, here I have used in color, right? So normally I am not going to use in color. Means whenever you are using specific dimension into color means now for each state, it has assigned the different colors. Now you can see the color legend, Alabama is displaying with this color. So you can see the different states in different colors. Now I don't want to give the colors. So just this state, I am going to drag into details. Now you can see everything is displaying in same blue color. Now here I want to display in the background. You can see guys, so states colors also it is displaying state names also. Here you can see this is the Montana, this is North Dakota. So here you can see the state names also in the background. Okay, so if you want, you can change the color. So you can click on white. Okay, you can choose any color, whatever you want, guys. Okay, the map color. See here, whatever you want, you can choose it. Okay, but by default, right? So opacity, you can see opacity. If I will give 0, now you guys can see here the names also, right? So you can see the names also. Okay, now from here, now I want to display in this map itself. Now I want to display like profit wise, like in each state, how the profit I am getting. Now let's now drag the profit into colors. Now you can see here. Okay, here I have selected the manual color, right? So it is not displaying. So the opacity I changed it to 0. Means opacity 0 means it is not going to affect the visualization. Now if let's observe guys, if I will increase the opacity, now you can see the colors were displayed. Means this is a darkness and lightness. You can change it like opacity. Okay, so transparent, you can say transparent. Okay, so now you guys can see here, I'm going to keep 75. Now here, wherever you can see orange color things, right? So these all are like non-profitable states. These all are non-profitable states. This is a field map, guys. Actually, in maps also we are having one is a symbol map and another one is a field map. So this is a field map because the color has been filled for each entire state. Okay. Now, if I will select the symbol map, now you can see this is a symbol map. Now, here the size, right? So the sum of profit is displaying based on the size. Means wherever you can see big circle, right? So this dot, then that is like more profitable state. Wherever you can see the small like dot, that is a negative profitable state. Okay, so here again you can drag the profit into colors. This is how you can display the symbol map. Symbol map means it is going to display the different symbols. See guys, here you don't want to display in the circle, then what you can do is in the dots, then you can change the like shape as well. So to change the shape, you can, what you have to do is you have to select the shapes. Okay, now here you can say everything is showing in the circle. Now you can, by clicking on the shapes, you can change the shapes whatever you want. Okay, now for, and one more thing, if you want to assign different shapes for different state, you can, you have to drag the state into the shapes. Now you can see each and everything is having assigned to different shapes. So but it is not required now, just I am going to keep this way. Guys, is it clear like how we are creating like symbol map and field map, difference between symbol map and field map? Guys, okay, so fine. Here also guys, so here when you will click on the color, right, so here you can see borders automatically borders will come. Now for example, if you want to give different border colors, so you can select the border colors. So you can see that means this is going to be circle border guys, circle border, okay, not for the map borders. Okay, see, this is the way you can change the borders. And this one is like hello, I'm not sure guys, this hello, let me select something. Yeah, it is kind of like on top of it again one more circle guys. Okay, see, okay, this is how it is going to display. Okay, you can make it borders none. Let's see what is going to happen. Yeah, this is how you can highlight this one. Okay, by using hello, HALO. So this is the one. So guys, so this is how we are going to create like visualizations, like map. And if you want to convert into a, you can convert it. Okay, so it depends on requirement guys. So for example, if you want to display only like symbols, like how the sales is happening, generally like instead of field map, it's better to go with the like symbol map, because we can show the difference, exact difference here. Okay, here we can see a lot of marks, and if we will use the colors, right, so it is going to give some meaningful information. And here the field map also good, but here again like some of profit I want to give into labels, I can see now this way you can display the labels. And also yeah, this is fine. And like in like symbol map also, like in symbol map also you can create you can give profit labels for your visualizations this way. Okay, so both the ways good, but a symbol map people will prefer actually. It is going to be displayed in the clear way. And here the colors, right, so it is not going to be that much catchy if you are displaying more colors, right? So that's where the people will prefer the symbol map. Okay, and here guys, so here actually we are having, if you go to maps, we are having like different background maps and map layers, map options. So these are the like we are having a lot of options here, background maps, like for example light, normal. Now you can see I'm changing the map background maps, light to normal. You can see when I change it to normal, it is going to display like here it is like a sea kind of thing. Okay, and this is wherever you can see it is a water. And maps again dark. Now you can see the different formats you can choose guys, like background or street. Like you can see streets, this is how it is going to appear. And again you can change whatever the way you want. Okay, and outdoor satellite map, now you can see satellite view. So this is the satellite view for the US, like whatever the data points we are displaying. So you can display in different ways guys, the maps, like by selecting these options. And also we are having map layers, and this map layers is going to help you like to wash out the, to show the difference. Like now you can see this is wash out, means you are not displaying, you are not going to display anything, just you are displaying the dots. Okay, so this is how you can display. And here style, we are having different styles. Now you can see, like this is a satellite and whatever you have seen, right? So here just outdoor, this is the outdoor, whatever we have selected from here, right? The same options only from map layers we can select. And also here streets, and here guys, so satellite view and repeat backgrounds, like normally guys. So here you can remove the backgrounds. For example, now map layers means like you can see different layers. Now this is a water, like water is showing, and here you can see the different color, here different color. So different colors is there, right? So that is based on these water labels. Now for example, if you are going to select everything, now you can see the cities names. Okay, the city names, if you want to include, you can select. These are the different layers. If you want, you can include it. And the state names, now you can see state names also displaying, and country borders. Now you can see this is a border is displayed for this. Now you can take region, country borders, country region names. Now you can see United States is enabled. Means these are the different things which you can enable based on your requirement. Okay, so this is a like map layers, we can say. See, actually, whenever, if you know the Photoshop, right? Photoshop. If you in the Photoshop, what they are going to do, they are going to do the layers, right? Layer 1, layer 2, like that. Okay, in this map also we will be having different layers. In that layers, whatever you want, you can enable it. Okay, is it clear, guys? And here guys, so you can see here like data layer, right? So if you want to display specifically based on the population or something, but you should be having the data, guys. So for example, population, now you can see this is a just it is showing the population wise, and now 2018 population. Now you can see like this is a sample data. Based on the sample data, it is displayed by state, by country. Okay, and this one you can select anything. So this, so different data layers means it is going to be again population, and you can see the households, household size, and household income, and US occupation, US housing. Like you can see like in each state wise how the households and what is the population, what is the female like male age, and like different things you can see, guys, by selecting this one. But it is not that much important for now. Okay, so actually we are going to display the data in a visual the main motor, right? So guys, one more thing, whenever you are going to create a visualizations, your main motto should be the data accuracy and just look and feel. You no need to do hangama. Okay, see, in customers also there will be two types of customers. Okay, some customers will focus on the like only the data, like he always expects the data quality. And some customers, they will expect data quality along with that the look and feel. It should be whatever the visualization you are going to create, it should be catchy. Okay, by looking at the visualization, it should be whatever the visualization you are going to create, it should be attractive. Means when it is going to be attractive, the color combination, whatever the color combination you are using, and the font styles, and the background color of the visualization, and the size of the mark, these all are the main properties. Whatever we are seeing these properties, right? By using these properties only, okay, it is going to be attractive. So you have to focus on the colors, size, and labels, and one more thing, the background color, whatever you are using. Okay, so and also you have to be concentrate on the data quality as well. Okay, So this is how we can use map layers, backgrounds, and everything, guys. So is it clear, guys? Guys, is it clear or not? Okay, fine. So guys, in the map section, you can see background images, okay, and geocoding. So here, background images means like here you can see background images means like you can import the image. Now, for example, order sample. Now, if you want to add image, just click on add image. Now here you can see it is asking name, file or URL, and longitude and latitude. So you have to create like to give background images. Actually, you have to create two calculations. One is a Excel and one is a x-axis and another one is a y-axis. And I will show you how you can use the background images. Okay, or it is showing like file URL. So file or URL. So for example, if you want to get, let me try. I'm not sure it is not going to work. So let me give, for example, here image is there, right? So let me click on it. So how to get this URL? Yeah, here I got the URL, copy. So let me try here. I am not sure whether it will work or not. So just click on browse. So once you will click on browse, so it is going to here only. Okay, now let me click on apply. Please specify a valid field range. Means here, as I said, right? So x-axis, y-axis. We have to specify this one. So x-axis, y-axis means either, for example, left. So left side means this is the left side. So let me give 50. It is not going to take it. So yeah, let me 50 number luck. So here 100 I am going to give. Y-axis also I am going to give 50. And here I'm going to give 100. So let me click apply. So whether it will take or not. No. Yeah, I will explain you guys. So what we have to do is we have to create a field. Actually here we have to, whenever you will create a field, it is going to be available here. So we have to select that field. Okay. I will explain you how to import the background images. Okay, in the later sessions. See, once I will click on it, right? So it is going to appear here. Once you will click on it, it is going to be added into this sheet. And the x-axis, y-axis, right? X field, y field. Instead of latitude, longitude, those x field and y field we have to use in this column shelf and rows. And in the maps, right? So we are having geocoding. Actually, guys, so geocoding means like actually import custom geocoding. It is asking. So actually, for example, if Tableau is not able to identify custom geocoding, right? So if you want to display based on your input, means like latitude, longitude values. So what you have to do is you have to create a one CSV file. You have to create a one CSV file. For example, I want to create one custom geocoding for myself. Like for example, I am going to give like state, and also here I am going to give, for example, latitude, and here I am going to give longitude. So here you are going to enter state name and latitude, longitude values you are going to enter manually. So after completing this file, what you have to save this one in a .csv file format, and after that you have to go to Tableau, and from here you can go to map geocoding, import custom geocoding means it is going to ask you to see now the CSV file. It is asking CSV file only. So you have to choose the browse the CSV file from your local computer where you have stored, and then from you have to click on the import. Then once you will click on the import button, now that is going to be added into here, means separate data source. Then you can use those maps like those custom like states into your visualization for creating the maps. So custom geocoding means you are going to prepare a one CSV file in your local machine, then you are going to import into to Tableau to make it available for the maps. Okay. And we have seen these things. So map layers already we have seen. So, okay. So, and also map options. So map options means guys. So here, these are the map options. Now you can see here, whenever I will keep mouse cursor, now you can see map options is available. Whenever I will keep mouse cursor, mouse hover on top of the view, I am going to get this map options. If I will move, it is not going to display. Now this map options is going to help you to search. For example, I want to search for a particular state. For example, North Dakota or something. Now Northport something. So just I am clicking on it. Now you can see it is going to display that Northport. Now you can see Northport in Alabama. And also you can increase this size. Now you can see you can increase. Now you can see the map, right? So how you are displaying the street view, like how it is going to be, everything you are going to get. Means this is a satellite view. And if you want, you can decrease it. And once you have done means you can fix the axis. Now you can see here after in the tooltip, right? So here you can see the axis, right? You can recreate it. See, whenever you are increasing zoom, right? So automatically it is going to be showed as a fixed. Okay. Either you can clear it by selecting here, or you can clear it by clicking on this reset map option. Okay. And now here guys, so we are having few more options. For example, now I am going to reset the visualization. Now here by clicking on this arrow mark, you can see different options. Again, here you can see this option is zoom area, and this is a drag option, and this is a rectangular selection, and this is a radial selection, and lasso selection, something. So now if you want to zoom out only particular area, if you want to zoom, so I am going to click on this. Now you can see if I will click on this area, now you can see it is going to be zoom. Okay. So after this, now if you want to drag, so now if you want to drag, now you can see it is not going to zoom. So you can drag the map. So to drag the map, you have to select this option. And also here rectangular selection means, for example, if you want to select this one, you can, for example, if you want to select multiple data points, data members, then you can use this option. Now why? Now here, for example, you can see we are having different cells, right? Now I want to select multiple things, right? So I am going to highlight this second. Now you can see for these 5 states, it is going to display the total sales. You can see sum of profit minus 3,000. After adding, now I want to see the cumulative sum of all these 3 states. For example, now I am going to select these 3 states. Now it is going to display. Now you can see sum of profit is 3,268. Means it is going to sum up all these 3 states. This way, by using this option, you can select the multiple data points. And this is also same. Now you can see radial selection. See, radial selection means once you will click on it. So based on the means if you drag from the center point. Now this is the center point. Now, for example, here let's assume I'm clicking here. Now this is going to become center point. Now if I will, sorry. Now, sorry guys. Now here it is going to be, now for example, now if I'm moving this one cursor, like I am dragging, so now it is equal range. In equal range, the place is going to be selected. Now you can see it is going to increase in the equal range. Okay, this is the radius. And this is another one is, for example, the same kind of selection. Okay, sorry. Here you can see you can draw like whatever you want to select this way. Okay. So now these points has been selected. So this is the way you can use these different map options. Okay, guys, is it clear? And if you want, you can disable this map options, guys. So how you can disable is go to map, I think map options, and here you can see map options. You can automatic, it is units automatic, so metrics, so you can disable this one. So here you can select this one. Now you can see it is, you are not going to, if you will keep mouse over also, you are not going to get this map options. So if you want to enable just map options, so you can select whatever you want. Like if you want to provide only search option for the customer, then you can give this search menu. So here he can select whatever he wants. Or if you want to give some more options, so like show layer controls, you can give like view toolbar. This is the toolbar, and zoom pane. So if you want to give zoom pane also, you can. So toolbar means only these things he is going to get. So this is how you are going to give the controls to the end user. Okay. In some cases, right? So if you are going to work in support project, so some people may ask like, I am not able to get this zoom option. So how to get, or like I want to disable the zoom options. So you can use these options like map options. Map, in the map options, you can enable or disable the options. Okay, is it clear, guys? Yeah. So now the another graph is like I am going to close after explaining this one for today. Okay. So the pie chart is like, guys, maps also, like to create a map visualizations, we need geographic fields. Okay, now you can see one geographic field is mandatory. Okay, you have to remember. And another graph type is like pie chart. See guys, pie chart is suitable whenever you are having minimum set of data members. If you are having large data set, large data members, means volume is more, volume in the sense like the number of data members is more, then the pie chart is not going to display the data properly. See, pie chart means like how it is going to be is like, generally guys, pie chart how it is going to be like, say sorry, like for example, this is a circle. Now in this area, for example, if you are having like sales, category wise sales means how you are going to get, you are going to get like, for example, from this area, let's this way you are going to, it is going to become slices. Like pizza, you know, right? Pizza, when they will cut, it is going to give different slices from center point, right? If you want to, like for example, let's assume you ordered pizza, but it is not it is not having different slices. Okay, now you want to cut that pizza in different slices. Okay, now let's assume in your home you are having you, for example, let's assume your father, your mother, and your sister, your brother, and you. Now what you want to do is, based on like their capacity, you want to cut that pizza like different slices. Means for example, you are going to have more pizza, then you are going to cut the slice in a bigger area, right? So this is one, means your capacity is more here, but your brother is going to have, he can have only less. So then what you are going to do is, based on his capacity, you are going to cut the small slice, and for as well for your father, mother, and your sister. So this is how you are going to distribute. So based on what you are like cutting this pizza in different slices based on their capacity, right? So the same way in Tableau also, the pie chart is going to be segregated slices. It is going to show in a different slices based on the measure or volume, whatever we are displaying. Now, for example, let's take a sales. Okay, now I am going to click on this. I am going to select one category. Okay, now let's click on this here. Now here, once if you'll see here, guys, I am going to keep it like maximum. Like here, standard is there. Standard means automatic, it is going to display. And if I will click entire view, then it is going to display in the middle. Now you guys can see, like whenever I selected the pie chart from the show me, here you can see the category is added into color because this color, right? So whenever the any dimension is going to add it into color, each slice means each slice is going to display different colors. Now you can see furniture is displaying with the blue, office supplies and technology. Whenever you are going to drag, guys, here you have to remember one thing. I forgot to tell you, whenever you are dragging any measure into color, it is going to give range, means starting to ending. And whenever you are going to drag any dimension into color, it is going to give headers. Like now you can see this is an individual data members. Okay. Now, here you can see whenever we have created a pie chart, when I explained Mox card, this section is going to be available based on the graph type. I said based on the visualization type, this section is going to be available. Now, if we have created the pie chart, then angle is displayed. So what it means angle? Now you can see sum of sales automatically added into angle, means this angle means here the slice. Now whatever you can see this area, this border, this is a one slice. Now how this slice is distributed means this angle means it is based on the sales value, and here this is another slice and this is another slice. Here you can by looking at this, right, so you can see everything is similar. Now instead of this one category, let's do one thing. I am going to add subcategory. Now you can see, guys, so the size of the slices is differ because let me give the labels for this. Now you can see wherever you can see 3,30,000. Now you can see it is having bigger slice, and again this is the one, and different slices based on the sum of sales. Okay, and also guys, so the pie chart is like regularly the people, right? So this is a pie chart bar graph and line graph are easily understandable visualizations. Means most of the clients, they used to see the data like pie chart, line graph, bar graph. When you will enter into real time, so then you will come to know. So what are the different graphs generally the people will like, because these are simple and we can understand easily. Okay, that is why the people will. So instead of creating complex visualizations, so it's a better to use the pie chart and all those things. And here, when we will use the pie chart actually. So the pie chart will be suitable if you want to show the distribution among different categories. Category means not this category, guys. So different data members. If you want to show the difference, then we can use this pie chart. And also, whenever you are going to create a pie chart, you have to keep in mind one thing. So the data members should be limited. See now, guys, the data members here we are having I think 12 or 14 data members, like subcategories. Here subcategory, just I am calling it as a data member in Tableau terminology. So these values under subcategory, we are having 14 values. These 14 values, okay, little bit it is okay for displaying. For example, if you are going to drag anything, some product name or something, let's see how it is going to be. Now you can see. Shit. Okay, fine. So now you can see, guys, so is it going to, this pie chart is going in readable format? No, right? So always you have to choose like the data members, whatever you are showing, right? So it should be limited. If you have more data members, then pie chart is not suitable. Okay, so always remember this one. With the limited number of data members only, we can create a pie chart and it is more readable. Okay, if you are creating like with a complex thing, like if you are adding more data members here, then the slice, right, the values, actual values won't be appear for the end users. Now you can see here, guys, here you can observe for this and for this. Okay, in between there is another, I think. Okay. See, now this is another fasteners, but here it is displaying, this is a envelopes and this is a furniture, and in between these two there is a one fasteners. See, this is not visible properly. So because of this reason, right? So whenever we are having less data members, then we can go with the pie chart. Okay, there is a suggestible chart. Okay, is it clear, guys? Yeah, yeah, then we will go for the bar graph. So bar graph also useful for comparison purpose only. So whatever the graph, guys, so mostly graphs we are going to use for either comparison purpose, right? Mostly comparison only, right? So in the visualization, like what is the previous year sales, what is the current year sales, or what is the sales in different different categories, like that, right? So we are going to just comparing from one metric to another metric, or like one data member to another data member, how it is increasing or decreasing, to know that one, right? So all the graphs is going to serve for same purpose only. Okay, so the same way, if you see here, it is also like by looking, see here in the pie chart, you are going to find the you can find the difference based on the what we can say, this area, like a slice. Okay, this angle, how much space it is occupied. In a bar graph, how you are identifying? Based on the length, height, right? Based on the height. It is similar only, but if whichever the whatever the mark, like whichever the mark is having more length or height, we can say, so we can say this is having more sales. Whichever is having less height, like this is, like you can see, it is 3024. So this is how we are going to just, this is also, it is comparison purpose only. For example, now if you can sort it, now you can see here from maximum to lower, how it is like sales in like different subcategory wise sales, what is the sales, you can identify. Now here the length is going to tell you like where it is, like is it like compared to, like for example, now if you want to compare with machines, like compare, when I am going to compare with machines, which are the products is more better than machines, and what are the products not better compared to machines, right? So whatever you can see, top products are better compared to machines, like it is having more sales, and whatever you can see the bottom side, it is not that much great compared to machines, in irrespective of sales, correct? So everything is comparison purpose only, guys. Okay, guys, so then I am going to stop for today. Okay.